Off the bat we got 3 different Shepards with 3 different backgrounds. Does that really matter though? Let's talk Shepard. You have 3 different backgrounds to pick from, and one of them is Spacer Shepard. Now Spacer had both parents in the Alliance military, and you spent most of your years on ships and stations as they moved from post to post. And when you came of age, you followed in their footsteps and enlisted. It all makes perfect sense. We also have Earthborn Shepard, who was orphaned earlier on and raised on the streets. To escape a life of petty crimes and underworld gangs, he or she enlisted in the Alliance military. Very clever. No, actually I take that back. That's just logic. But it shows you Shepard has common sense, which we all know isn't so common. And finally we have the Colonist. At the age of 16, slavers raided Shepard's colony, slaughtering family and friends. Saved by a passing Alliance patrol, they clearly left an impression because he or she enlisted a few years later. Now a quick roundup. Personally for me, Earthborn, and in particular Colonist, has an emotional weight to it, as there's a clear motivation driven by trauma and hardship. But you could also argue Spacer grew up around the military. The military is his and her home, and it makes perfect sense that one of the top graduates would have that connection with the Alliance. But regardless of the backstory, Shepard still remains the same and enlists, and everything in the game from here on in is more or less parallel for all 3. Which goes to really show Shepard was always going to be a born leader. To an extent, you could argue his calling or her calling was to join the Alliance and to put those qualities to good use. And using those qualities to save the galaxy is a pretty good use. Shepard has multiple faces, and all those faces gets the job done. Let's talk training. The Interplanetary Combat Academy, sometimes called End School, or the Villa, recruits officers from every branch of Earth's military to partake in gruesome courses at the Villa Militar in Rio de Janeiro. The trainees participate in scenarios experienced by the elite units of most land-based armies. Candidates may be in training more than 20 hours a day, leading small units into combat zones of a hostile terrain with little to no sleep or food. Trainees who do well are awarded and designated the rank N1. Subsequent courses of N2 through 6 are held off planet and include classes and trainings in zero-G combat, such as parachuting, jetpack flight, combat diving, linguistics, close quarters combat training, frontline trauma care for human and alien biology, assault procedures. These guys don't play around. The highest grade of training, N7, provides actual combat experience in conflict zones throughout the galaxy. Invitees are given basic gear, then separated and stranded on an asteroid with no nav data. The test ends when the last person runs out of oxygen. You're then awarded the N7 designation if you survive these scenarios in an admirable and effective fashion. I repeat, these guys don't play around. And finally, to be a Spectre, no actual prior qualification is needed, but your experience, your skill, and your character are all taken into consideration, and only the best may actually obtain this, because this essentially means you represent your people, and the galaxy understands you are a representation of your people. This allows you to circumvent the law in order to get things done. To an extent, you are the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Shepard is the first and only human Spectre, for now.
Tila Vasir, Special Tactics and Recon.
A Spectre?
You're one of our most famous operatives. Might even get you to sign my chest plate.
Go for it.
Go for it. And among Spectres, he's regarded highly.
Go for it.
Go for it. Go for it. Some of Shepard's notable achievements are destroying the race known as the Collectors, taking down thousands of Geth or wiping them out completely. There's also saving the Citadel Council, which could be perceived as ensuring stability in the galaxy, destroying or controlling the Reapers that have harvested probably trillions of lives over a billion years, effectively stopping the cycle. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's impressive. But the main and most dangerous weapon is the skill known as Talk No Jutsu, where Shepard talks his way out of conflict or making difficult decisions. This involves helping to facilitate the cure of the genophage by pushing Morden in the right direction, bringing the Quarians and the Geth together, effectively stopping the civil war. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's impressive. Or saving the Rachni Queen. Rachni. That's impressive. Talking to this thing. And more importantly, uniting the galaxy. We don't even have a united world, so you can imagine how difficult that would be. Not for Shepard. Shepard is king. Shepard is queen. Shepard is the shit. You ain't really playing with the shit. You ain't playing with the shit.